Do you want to talk about Marjorie Taylor Greene? I actually think we should show this, you Missy. She was on 60 Minutes of all things. I don't know why Lesley Stahl's interviewing her. I actually like Lesley Stahl, and I'm like, what are we doing with this with our 60 Minutes time? Could we play number 5? They got into a little tiff together that's very entertaining.
It's the most toxic political culture, and it's not helping the American
But you
people.
contributed to that. You were out there pounding, insulting people.
Lesley, you've contributed to it as well with your own
Me?
program. Yes, you're accusatory, just like you did just then.
I know you're accusing me, but I'm smiling.
You're accusing me.
I am accusing
But we
you.
don't have to accuse one another.
I want you to respond to what you have done in terms of insulting people, yelling at people, and then saying,
I'd like for you to respond for that.
I don't-
No, you can respond to that.
I don't insult people.
You do, in the way you question, and you're accusing me right now.
What's she doing, you Missy?
Why is she so defensive? She's been on the apology tour for a month.
But also,
Oh my
it's like
goodness.
the crocodile was eating everybody else's face. And now that it's eating mine, I'm against crocodiles. Like,
He's
that's
like-
not, like, yeah.
She's
go
standing
ahead,
in front of a burning house, like with the kerosene, and she's just like,
did
I don't
this?
know, guys.
How did the house light on fire?
How did we get here?
Who said that?
It is funny watching her on 60 Minutes because also to the media, how did we get here? You had this woman from South Georgia who came up and everything out of her mouth was inflammatory. Nothing was concrete or policy based. It was all personality. And guess what? The media flocked to her too. She was on every major network. She was doing interviews. They loved catching a little soundbite as she left the Capitol. They would surround her in these big scrums. And now they wonder, wow, how did she just completely flame out? And it's like, well, yeah, she didn't do any real politics, right? She had no coalition, she had no real allies. She depended solely on the president. And then once she fell out of favor, she turned around and nobody was with her. I mean, I miss the days when politicians went to Washington and they formed alliances. They like actually built caucuses together because they understood that they needed to pass things together. And this is a far right, far left problem of like a lot of the people love on the far left, the loudest people. They always say, you know, you can pull up a Bernie Sanders speech, that's fine, but now pull up the amount of bills that he's led in these past. You know,
Do you-
one is going to be larger than the other.
Do you think that she's really trying to remake herself as some kind of like wounded moderate? Look, she's always Jewish space lasers to me. Like she's never going to live that down. It's obviously like absolutely insane. I don't trust it. I don't trust people who completely reinvent their politics in 20 minutes for obviously like media, gain or whatever. Where does she go? Trump put about a very long Truth Social post right before we came on. I don't have time to read it. You guys can read it if you want. He's just saying she's an idiot and she wouldn't be anything without him. But like, what is her future? Because people are saying she wants to run for president, which she could certainly be a spoiler candidate. But if you cannot win in the state of Georgia, you cannot also win the White House, Missy. Okay.
I mean, I think she's just hit that ceiling. She's a personality. And look, I think about kind of like a Beto O'Rourke in Texas where people were like, what do we do with him? What do we do with him? And they tried to elevate. And then there's that ceiling for Democrats in Texas where it's like, this is as far as you're going. You're not getting a statewide seat. I think it's on the flip side for her in Georgia. There's just no way she makes it out of that Republican Party as a leader in any kind of sense. And I also wonder, well, what is your audience here? There are some Democrats that are sympathetic to her, and now that she is, all it takes is to fall out of favor with Trump in order to get some Dems to grab you up and say, no, come over here, come over here. But I think for the most part, people on the Democratic side are like, oh, okay, see you never, go away. You know, you were elected, you didn't want to finish your term, which, by the way, I think is the most egregious thing. I think it is absolutely awful for voters to put their trust in you and you not to just finish it out. And I think that, like, same with Mark Green, who's like, I got a private sector opportunity, I'm out. That's not the way the job works.
Totally.
It's really starting to annoy me how we're diluting this and people are just like hunting themselves out before they're done. But anyways, I don't know where her audience is on the Republican side because there are, for moderate Republicans, right? It's for all the things, I mean, with the lasers, the 5G, the Wi-Fi, it's all too much. And then to not have the favor of Trump is just like, I think just a black marker on you as well. So I think she just keeps doing the media hits. The media are the people that are going to keep fueling this with, I mean, the one-on-one with 60 Minutes. And then Trump says in his Truth Social post, it was very long, but at the end, he calls out Lesley Stahl, he calls out 60 Minutes, and he goes, this new ownership is just as bad as the last one because y'all are having her on. And I'm like, okay, media is going to get themselves in trouble with the president as well on this.
Yeah, the patron saint Barry Weiss is supposed to be reanimating CBS from the inside out. It does seem a lot like the old CBS. Miranda and I both have questions about her leadership in general, and I thought things were supposed to be different and change, and it looks the same.
I mean, he can't control who they
uh,
book for guests. I mean, that's ridiculous. But
yeah,
you
but
know,
Barry Weiss can.
right? But what I'm saying is he can't control who they book for guests just because he's unhappy with this one appearance. Now they're gonna never book Marjorie Taylor Greene. I think that her appearances are gonna fizzle out, and I think ultimately she
Yeah.
lands on hosting her own podcast. She seems to have a lot of thoughts that she needs to get out, and so if she needs to, speak into a microphone for an hour a week, then that's fine. I think that's where she's probably gonna land.